as of the recording of this episode, June 29th, 2026.
Yeah.
We both started reading Ham on Rye by Charles Bukowski.
Yes.
If this book was 5,000 pages, I'd read all 5,000.
Oh, definitely.
It's so stupid.
It could be the length of Divine Comedy.
Yeah, just keep reading it.
I'd still read it.
I don't understand why all the things I've read about this were like, oh yeah, it's crass and it's, gritty and put you in the gutter, but it's like a literary masterpiece. No, it's not. I'm almost, you're like 70 pages in.
Yeah.
I can't stop reading the fucking thing. I just started the other day.
Right, yeah.
Let's just say yesterday, because I really didn't read more than like 20 pages the day before, and I'm already halfway through. And I might finish it tonight if I have time, or at least by tomorrow. And it's so dumb.
Yeah. But in a great way.
In a great way. And like my version had an introduction which talked about like the character in this book. It's his like childhood, which basically is Charles Bukowski, like his childhood, but a fictionalized version named Hank Chinansky or something.
Yeah, it's his alter ego.
Or Henry, Hank, whatever he's called. I think he's Henry in this, but then he's in 2 other books, and in those I think he's Hank.
Oh, okay.
Or something. Maybe vice versa. I don't know. But it's like just stories of his life or whatever. Basically, just Charles Bukowski. But I was like, if any of this is real, it's like this dude's fucking, his dad's a giant asshole. Everybody's an asshole.
It's like, well, no wonder, like, even if like half of that is true, it's like no wonder he ended up like, because you hear all the things about Bukowski, and you're
dirty
like,
drunk.
And you're like, well, yeah, no shit. Like, this is just like, he's in fucking like preschool and has to like fight every day, and like, his best friend is a kid with no hand, with one arm. Like,
I enjoy everything about it. It's so dumb, and then just like they're such perverts, and it's just same language as pulp.
Yeah,
It's not as ridiculous,
right?
But it's the exact same language. It's just like if he had pulp, but just took away the detective stuff, it just made like, oh, this is a real life story.
It's a little bit more refined in this.
But as far as this being like some kind of literary classic, there's no fucking way. There's no way, unless this ending really blows you away with some kind of I don't know, emotional impact like a meteor. I don't imagine.
Like a funny satire thing can't be a
not this one, like a Confederacy of Dunces. Yes, this one when like every other word's cunt. No, I don't think so. He's the Hemingway of dirty words.
Do you plan on reading the next 2 installments?
Yes, I will. I don't think this is the first of a trilogy. I think it's the 3rd. Did it say the first in your thing?
Well, it didn't say, but it just talked about because like this is his childhood, and then Post Office is like his like middle age kind of.
I thought that was his first book, The Post Office, because I think it's what it said in my introduction.
Maybe it was publised first, but
chronologically, this is first because the kid is a child,
right?
So yeah, published wise, Post Office was first in 1971. Factotum was 1975, and then Ham on Rye was his last one in the 1980s, and then of the trilogy,
right?
But yeah, it jumps around. So
is it? I thought the third one was like woman. Yeah,
I don't know. That's the 3.
Oh, okay.
Is there a reading order? The order is Post Office, Women, and Ham on Rye. So why did that say fucking?
Because that's AI. Because I think that's like another kind of like autobiography.
It's the same character, yeah. Unless it's just a different word. Wait. Ham on Rye. Well, this one says, suggest reading them in chronological order. Chanowski's life events. Ham on Rye, Factotum, Post Office. Yeah, that one's Factotum. I don't. What the fuck? Why am I getting conflicting? Again, that's the fucking AI bullshit.
Gotta love it. They're just jamming it down your throat.
Yeah, here's the Reddit article is the one that mentioned women. Like I said, is there a different name? Maybe that's just a different name for it. I don't know. I would look it up before I go read those, but I would. Yeah, well, we're right. You read Ham on Rye first, so I just read in order, right?
I mean, I would think
the guy who did the introduction said, I think it was Factotum or whatever that book is. He said he read that, and then I was just like, I can't read no more Bukowski. And then he didn't read it for a long time, and then finally he went to read Ham on Rye. I was like, masterpiece. And again, this is the masterpiece? It's like, I don't know. I don't know how he got so esteemed other than people just want to, like how we always discuss how we make people perverted.
Right, yes.
By letting them just be their freaky selves.
Yeah.
And they just love, I think that's why they like us and want to come on the show, because they feel like they're free to do that. I think that's what Bukowski was for America.
Yeah, he just like do whatever. Like
they're like, well, this guy's going to be down in the dumps. I can't offend him, so I'm just going to, like, no matter what I say, it won't be as bad as him.
Right.
Like, that's his appeal, I guess. But yeah, if that was his childhood, it sucked.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, did you get to the part? Did you get to the part yet where he get in this guy's car to go to an airplane show?
No, I don't think so.
And it's so obvious the guy's a kid diddler. And him and his buddy are like, oh, we're going to get diddling. They know it. So they're already planning on how to get out of it. And then like every time one of these events happen, like right after, they're just like nothing happened. Like they just act normal. Like every time there's a fight, they just walk away all bloody and stuff. And they're just like, hey, you want to go down and drink some wine? Yeah, sure. Like they just like, you guys not know what's happening in your life? Like, is that how bad it was in the 30s?
It doesn't matter.
So I read Grapes of Wrath 30s until this version of the 30s. I'm like, it was nobody having a good time.
No, it's the 30s.
It's like, I don't know which 30s I would rather live. It's fucking all awful.
But it seems to be, or his style seems to be like those short, punchy chapters.
Oh, they read so quick.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted to read this book, which is what, like 300 pages?
Almost 300 pages, I think.
I feel like you could read this in like an hour and a half if you really just sat there and read. Because, like, I read like 10 chapters in 10 minutes. Like, it doesn't take any time at all. Like I said, I would already have finished it. I just, like, I did a bunch of shit yesterday and I just haven't had time to, like, sit and read. But yeah, good times reading this dumb book. It's exactly what I needed. And now when I get done with this and read something not as fun, I'm going to be okay.
So do you have what you think you're going to read next?
I'm going to read that Between Two Fires book.
Oh, okay.
So some medieval horror.
You've been wanting to read that for a while.
Yeah. So that'll be good. And then after that, I'm probably going to read some... I have a stack of to-be-read books that I want to get to before I do Finnegan's Wake. I'm actually probably going to read Blood Meridian next, but it depends how horror-centric this book is, and if the language, I don't know if the language is difficult or not. I don't think it is, but, you know, before you go into Blood Meridian,
right?
You know, I might need a small palate cleanser. Even though this next book won't be difficult, I might need something like how I read Ham on Rye, like something uplifting and fun. Because I know I'm going to go right into the fucking muck and mire of depression and murder, but not fun murder. Just murder and violence and awful punctuation or no punctuation. So I need something straightforward that has a story and a linear plot and no stream of consciousness, no fucking pages on pages, a poetic metaphor. I just need words in an order I can understand and I know the meaning of, because they are words that have been used past the 1700s.
So a Spencer book is what you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe I'll read a Stephen King book, actually. I'm overdue. Also, I was going to present this to you off air, but I'll do it on air because it gives you a little more pressure.
All right.
Because you need the fun in your life.
Okay.
And because we haven't been keeping track, and I don't know where the fuck we stand with the Stephen King thing.
Right.
Read The Grapes of Wrath, and we'll call it a wash on all Stephen King, and we'll start over.
Okay.
So if you read The Grapes of Wrath, then... Because I remember, I read Pets, because I read a bunch last year.
Yeah.
So I
thought I was close because I read those Murakami. I think those took care of the Bachman, or at least one of them, because they were about all the.
See, I made you read a bunch of short books,
right?
But the problem was I read like a couple long books, you know. So I don't know. But like I said, if you just read The Grapes of Wrath, that'll just end it, and then we can resume with 1Q84 and It.
Okay.
Which we'll both reread.
Yeah.
And then that'll also be a wash, so it's not like and then maybe we'll go into next year with back to the spirit of it, of just being fun and not having to read depressing Steinbeck.
I know there's also one book that I have to finish. I don't even know what it was for, but I was moving stuff around and I found it and I was like,
that short story collection?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, there was another Japanese author. And I was just like,
Yukio Mishima collection.
Yeah, I read like the first 2 stories and then I just somehow fell off of it. Like,
if you want, you could just give that back and call it a wash with the Steinbeck.
All right. Well, I mean, I might. If you don't care, I might still try. Because
you can read it.
Because like I said, I like those first 2 stories. It was just, I think, with it being a short story collection, they got like set down,
right,
and then forgotten with others, by other things.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I also got another collection from him I got to read. So,
and I figure I'm kind of like on a Japanese kind of kick. I should probably.
If you want, you can read that Japanese detective or horror, whatever the fuck that one book is you got before you read the Steinbeck, because that Steinbeck's gonna be it's heavy on your soul. And
I also have to get a copy.
Yeah, that's not a borrowing copy because it's got those pages that collects the poop real easy. Or blood or snot.
And there's one thing when it's your own poop in the book, but whenever somebody else's poop in the book.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, we have another fucking episode about the Great American Novel. Yeah. It's like the third one we've done, but it's the America's 250, and this is leading up to 4th of July.
This will probably come out afterwards.
Yeah, it'll be right after the 4th of July. But this one is a different list. They're the same fucking book, probably. But anyway.
Just in different order.
Yeah, Spencer brought to my attention the Bram Stoker thing, so we might do that next week. But I don't know how many people are listening this time of year anyway. Like we get the same listeners, but I don't think they give a shit as much about the topics right now. So we'll discuss that briefly. And maybe some more butt stuff. And then we'll be back with, I finally said Neil Gaiman. Come on. Watch him get arrested. I'll throw a curveball at everybody. I'll get fucking Alan Moore on.
Oh, what?
And we'll just have a video one for that episode somehow. But we all just, like, you don't have a beard, and then I have a big beard. Like, how did that happen? Anyway, stick around, folks. You are listening to the Drunken Ben Writing Podcast. It's a bad one.
I don't have to say, I don't like the look of your face right now.
It's such a bad name. Oh, I was looking at cities in Japan for this one. So I feel like it could pass for what I'm about to say.
It's going to be racist.
Oh, yeah, not racist, but it's definitely a word not allowed to use anymore. But I'm using it this time. Like I said, you're listening to the Drunken Pen Writing Podcast. I'm your host, Caleb James. With me, it's in spirit of the fucking Trump administration. And those assholes. They'll love it. They'll love it. Trust me. It's not that bad. Very bad. What you're doing is what's bad.
Okay,
I'm your host, Caleb James. With me, as always, Spencer, the Miyazaki midget murderer church.
Oh.
It wasn't like the hard word, but that's not, you're not allowed to say that.
No.
And you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, could you say it over there?
That's what I said. I don't think it would matter over there.
Yeah.
They're a little backwards in the way they treat the small folks. I've seen Japanese TV. I know they do bowling and stuff, though. Like, we do it, but we don't, we pretend we're, the dwarf caution now.
It's done in secret.
We change the words and pretend we're outraged. But meanwhile, me and Spencer went to a midget wrestling show only a few years ago, and that's what they called it.
Right.
We weren't murdering them. But there was one there that, he would do it because he was the bad guy.
Right.
You're doing that in Miyazaki.
I wouldn't mind seeing another one of those shows, actually.
That was really fun. All right, Spencer, we're here with our friends from Collider.
Okay.
Jeremy Ugehart.
Okay.
He wrote this article. Jeremy, is that a Q? That's a Q. U-R-Q-U-H-A-R-T. Urquhart. He sounds Canadian. The Great American Novel, Spencer. 10 books that might be the Great American Novel. Okay. What was last episode? Something about the most American books. And that was a pretty shitty article from Esquire, as I remember. So this week it's what might be the Great American Novel. So it's not even definitive.
Have you looked at it yet?
Yeah, yeah.
I was just wondering because didn't last one have like a lot of like biographies?
Yeah, this one is not. This is actual novels.
Okay. I'll
read the introduction here. Because we didn't even define the Great American Novel in the last one because it wasn't the Great American Novel since you said there were so many biographies. It was just most American books. Didn't have Lonesome Dove. So how American is it without cattle ranching?
Right.
I want a cattle drive. I want to fucking ride cattle across goddamn Better Wasteland. Sorry. I get really passionate
for
about
900 pages.
900 pages. I just don't want to read that. Everyone says I have to. It's so good, but I'm like, I don't fucking about the subject. I'm just happy that you finally, because you were kind of always trying to push it on me, like I want you to read it
and make me be the bad guy. Be like, no, it sounds dumb.
I want you to read it, and then I don't have to. I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound good. He's like, what are you doing? But we're don't get to the cattle yet.
I feel like it'd be one of those books when by the time I'm done reading it, the next time you see me, I'd be all fucking yellow stoned out. I'd have like a cowboy hat on and a jean jacket with a fucking lot of fur on the collar. Like,
I'll special make you a copy where I like intersplice Brokeback Mountain into it. You're like, this is all good. And then this got real gay, and I liked it more. Anyway, the Great American Novel will probably never exist, Spencer.
Oh.
So this is done. Can we not read this then? Or has as much a chance of existing one day as Atlantis. That's a bold statement. Like if you say never and then it happens, you'll feel silly. Oh, I know I would. Jeremy. Hard. But then you kind of want to say never because the idea of it existing right now feels silly. I hit my button because I just want to hit it. There we go. Basically, the Great American Novel is something people like to talk about and debate, as in selecting one work from an American author as the literal greatest novel ever published. I think that's what it is. It's just the Great American Novel, in my opinion, and from the academics, and also the fact that I listen to the Great American Novel podcast, and they've defined it many times, are novels that during the period that the novel was written defines America the best. And sometimes they discuss books that are considered the Great American Novel, and they'll tell you why they don't think it's the Great American Novel. That's a very excellent podcast if you're into that kind of boring talk. I am. But the main thing usually is that it's not going to be like The Sun Also Rises by Hemingway, which is set in Europe. Like, that's not going to be the Great American Novel, obviously. Right. That's fucking about expatriates and shit. So it has to be, an American, like Moby Dick. Even though you're sailing all the while around the world, fucking getting whales and shit, it's very America-centric. It's mythical, really. There also isn't really a clear Great American Novel either, but Citizen Kane, Casablanca, The Godfather, and maybe The Searchers are all contenders.
Why
Great American Movie, sorry, not Great American Novel.
Still, why Casablanca?
That's a good point, because that's set in Morocco, I think.
That's what I thought.
Some northern African country. Yeah. Citizen Kane, yes. The Godfather, yes. I'm not sure what The Searchers is. Casablanca. Yeah, I wouldn't say other than it's just a great movie. I don't think.
Now, do you think like a war novel could be considered, even though that it could be taken, like say like a World War II novel,
if it instills like the American values into the theme of the book, I would think.
Like they could be overseas fighting, but you're following like a platoon that maybe, So
let's say if you had like a For Whom the Bell Tolls, I'm just using that because that's a famous.
Like Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, movie-wise. If it's like something that's introducing like the American spirit and the, what we used to call like independent masculinity or rugged masculinity or whatever defines American culture set in wartime, yes, I could get to that. Let's just jump into this list. Number 10, what might be declared the Great American Novel. This one I see all the time, and I would agree. The Great Gatsby, 1925. F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote about rich people doing rich people things with old money and new money from bootlegging, and there's a lady, and there's another lady, and they're both assholes, and there's a guy named Tom Buchanan. He's an asshole and racist. And then there's a fucking little squirrely guy that's living better than us, even though he has no money, named Nick Carraway, who befriends a millionaire, a.k.a. a billionaire probably back then, from bootlegging. One Jay Gatsby gets to use his pool, but doesn't. And then...
I'll say, isn't like everybody in that story an asshole?
Yeah.
Like there's not
everybody but Jay Gatsby, really.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he loves a girl that's a piece of shit.
No.
And yeah, piece of shit. Old sport. He calls people old sport. Can't be a piece of shit if you call people old sport. I like the novel, and that's all we need to talk about. We talked about it enough on here. This one I've never read, but God, did school really make me want to?
Oh yeah.
No, I remember we talked about it, and we might have watched assuming it was a long-ass Kevin Costner movie. I think I did watch it. I don't really remember. The Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know it was written in 1826. The Last of the Mohican. The Last of the Mohicans, which is a whole century older than The Great Gatsby, is already... come on, just get to the fucking point. What is it about? It's centered around the French and Indian War, with the novel's events specifically taking place in 1757. There's that broader conflict and then some romance element. Okay, so nothing about anything that you give a shit. So this guy's not breaking anything down for us. But as the Great American Novel in the 1800s, why not?
Yeah.
I would throw a Huckleberry Finn, but obviously that came later. But sure. Yeah. And that might be on this list. I looked at the list, but I didn't want to like dive into. I didn't commit it to memory,
right?
Because committing 10 things to memory is hard. Next up, fucking asshole. I just wish this guy would have fucking tucked his dick behind his ball sack and just fucked his own ass. And
Oh, wow.
piece of garbage. Just making books I don't like. Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace. That's a little harsh, but he more stupid bandana.
That's never. I mean, granted, would never really read
Great
any
American Novel.
Yeah, would never read any of his work. But that still kind of surprises me that he would have a book. Just anything that he would write about would fall within that subject matter.
Here's a quote: "If you approach Infinite Jest as an episodic work, it's good to find how so many of those episodes, so to speak, are some level of funny, surprising, thought-provoking, or even emotional." Okay. So you have to look at it in a stupid way to get it to even care about it. Yeah, we already know it has a bunch of endnotes and footnotes and a bunch of notes, and you got to read everything. You got a big book and can't hold it 'cause it's too big. It'll hurt your fingers and your wrist and your forearms. And thought-provoking, though, apparently. It's a impressive piece of literature. I don't like books that are just popular because they're hard to read.
Yeah.
Or they're just daunting. In this case, it's not even hard to read, I don't think. It's just daunting. It's just long. But why does it encapsulate America? Why is it like a part of the American literary canon as like the great American novel? Because there's tennis and corporations?
Well, also because I would think a lot of people probably read it and even.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, this guy's not giving me anything to really work on. He just kind of talks about the book, but not in a way that tells you anything about the book, which makes me think the guy hasn't read any of these books. Like, there's no synopsis or anything, so I don't know. There's the next one, yes, but going back to Infinite Jest for a second, I just don't understand why people love that book so much. We've talked about this with Gravity's Rainbow. It's just like, is it just because you finished it?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I climbed Mount Everest. I didn't like any part of the climb, but I did it, so now I'm going to pretend it was great.
Yeah, it changed my life.
Yeah, I bet it did. Number 7, I can definitely see how this would be considered. I won the Pulitzer, so definitely. But The Grapes of Wrath, as the great American novel, defines the 30s, in my opinion.
Right.
I mean, if I think of the 30s, I think of dirt poor dust bowlers. And now I'm going to start thinking of Bukowski getting things done or doing things. Poor people shenanigans. We don't really need, because I already talked about Grapes of Wrath enough on here, but yeah, that's definitely, I would say, encapsulates everything wrong with America, but also the beauty of America in the same book. So you get the spirit of the working man and how they never give up, which is great, but then you also get the major corporations just ass ramming them. Those were same working men. It is. It's like literally like, a tale of two cities with the best of times and the worst of times. You got the poor people and the rich people. That's exactly what the Grapes of Wrath is about.
And it's just so crazy how that book's like 60 years old now, something like that, right?
Almost 100.
Almost 10. It's like exactly the same.
It was written in 1939, so
yeah,
80 something years. It's old enough to vote Republican. It's old enough to run for the Senate. It's old enough to be Speaker of the House. I hate this world. Number 6. Now I keep hearing about this fucking book, but I don't think I've ever heard a good case for why it would be the great American novel, though I have heard it mentioned as such. Number 6, Underworld by Don DeLillo. I always fuck up his name. Don DeLillo. It's probably the size of Underworld that makes it more often than not the default pick for the title of Don DeLillo's best novel. It's a dumb reason to pick it. Just because it's long, this is the longest. Since he's one of the most distinctive and significant American writers of the past 50-ish years, it's the one novel of his that feels most in line with what people expect out of that so-called great American novel. Again, it's like Highlander, there can only be one. But there can't only be one. That's the discussion with the great American novel. It goes with the flow of change and of America. You'll never be able to distill, and maybe that's what this guy argues. I didn't really read. You can't really distill what would be the most American book when the country is continuously changing.
You can't have a great American novel of all time.
Yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, you can have of its times, but not of all time.
I agree. Anyway, Don DeLillo, it's a book.
I've never heard of it.
I've heard it, like I said, I've heard of it, and I've heard it discussed as the great American novel. But mainly I think that's due to I think probably why most of these, or if not all of them, are picked. Popularity, sales-wise. Because obviously Infinite Jest sold a bunch.
Right.
It always pops up on lists. So if you're just going by impactful and what people discuss the most, then yeah. But if you're talking about what actually exemplifies America in some way to the degree that you consider the book when you read it, oh, that's American. You don't just read it as like, oh, that's a good book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you read The Sound and the Fury, it's set in the South, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's a good book. It's interesting. But you don't necessarily say, oh, like that's just a straight American, even though it is. You wouldn't just necessarily, well, I guess the American South, that might actually be on this list. I don't know. Maybe that was a bad example. But like some Hemingway books, for instance, you could read them and you wouldn't immediately go, oh, yeah, that's America. Even though he's like one of the most American guys, you know? Which he wasn't. Because, you know, he was all living in Europe and shit. And he fucking lived in Cuba or went to Cuba all the time, lived in Key West. And he wasn't necessarily Mr. America. Yet, everyone thinks of him because conservatives kind of adopted even though he liked to dress as a lady and do stuff. Yeah.
Another one of your favorites?
No, I haven't read this yet. I just don't understand how this is the great American novel by Russian author Vladimir Nabokov,
okay.
Lolita.
Okay. I mean, and is that also supposed to be for like the present time?
What do you mean?
Because of the subject matter in the book would be more.
If
that was going to be more American at any point, you know.
No,
yeah.
Lolita is always tricky to talk about by design. Before digging into it or trying to talk around what it involves, it's interesting to note that Lolita was written by someone who's considered both a Russian and American author. So, whatever. But it wasn't written in Russian and then translated or anything, as Nabokov was trilingual. Spoke French too. Got to throw that in there. Smarty pants. And was certainly a master of at least one of those languages. All right, so, but like Humbert or Humbert, like that, he's not American, clearly by his name. Lolita is a Spanish word.
Yeah.
And I forget what her name is in the book because I didn't read it, but I want to say her name's Dorothy. Dottie. So maybe she's American. Maybe it's an American girl. I don't know. I don't see any way that's an American book other than the diddling stuff. That fits. Oh, motherfuck!
An ad?
No. Number 4 is worse.
Oh, God.
This one, I wouldn't say is American at all. It's not set in America at all.
Okay.
Gravity's Rainbow, 1973.
Oh, you serious?
By Thomas Pynchon. Motherfucker. How the hell is this the most fucking American novel? It's not. It's not the great American novel. It's not set in America. It's set in Europe. In Africa and other places that might exist. I'm talking about it. I'm doing it.
We're skipping that one.
Yeah, and most of the characters are British or African or Germans or Nazis. It's just like there's like one American guy, and he's like just gets boners a lot.
If you've been listening to the past couple episodes, you know the thoughts and opinions of Gravity's Rainbow on this podcast.
4-star read. Blood Meridian comes in at number 3. Would you say, having read some of Blood Meridian, half of it, would you say Blood Meridian constitutes the great American novel? It's set in America,
but it's
Old
not,
West.
Like we say, it's like for its time period, but like
the theme, violence.
Yeah,
I guess I could see it. It wouldn't be my pick for the great American novel, other than apparently it's a masterpiece. But I guess if you're going to say like Moby Dick was the great American novel, you could say this one is.
Would you consider any of his other novels like that you've read? Could you put those? Do you think any of those would be better suited for like Century or something? Like... Maybe
All the Pretty Horses. Because again, you're thinking about like American themes and things that are set most American. You're laying on my headphones, bro. Or are you eating my headphones? Hey, don't do that. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, it's wrapped around his head.
Oh no!
I'm gonna pause. Hey. You know what?
Yeah, that's probably the
easiest way. You all right, buddy? I think it's hot. Turn the air off.
It is again. It's supposed to be like 86 today, and it's supposed to finally be getting into like the 90s, I think.
I don't know where we left off. Blood Meridian. We're talking about. Yeah. Blood Meridian. So, All the Pretty Horses. At least out of the McCarthy I read would be the most American. Then a lot of that's set in Mexico. But just like the themes and stuff, I don't know. I don't think Cormac McCarthy, while writing mostly about like Americans doing American shit, I just never feel like it's, again, like when you read his books, do you feel like, oh, this is America? Maybe Blood Meridian, I guess. I don't know. Number 2. This guy's fucking shit choices. Number 2, The Catcher in the Rye.
Oh.
I will actually agree with them that for the time period this came out, and even though I hated the stupid book, I will agree that I could say that would be in the running for the 50s. The 1950s Great American Novel, probably Catcher in the Rye. I don't know what else would supplant that, but whiny little asshole.
I feel like that book shouldn't be on any like best of, because it's always on top list of like things you should read and best.
Well, you might like it more than I did if you like whiny little kids getting beat up by prostitutes, but not in like a graphic, not in a way that makes you think it should be banned.
Not in a Charles Bukowski kind of way.
Ham on Rye, I would put above this any day of the week. Number 1, do you have a guess? You should. What would be considered the Great American Novel, and you've read it.
Oh, I've read it.
You've read it.
See, I was gonna say like Gone with the Wind or something.
I could see that being a fit. I haven't read Gone with the Wind, so I don't know. But that's like Civil War, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. What did I read that could be considered the Great American Novel?
What would you think would be the Great American Novel? Something you read that exemplifies a certain period, let's say the 1960s. And
like Native Son?
No, that was the 30s.
Oh, just say it. What is it?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
That was recent too.
Yeah, you just read that.
Yeah,
like your last book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see where that would fit. I don't have a problem with that one being considered. And that's the end of this thing. Oh, hold on. There's some comments. I hope they're snarky. A Great American Novel list that includes no books by James or Faulkner, the 2 greatest American novelists, seems a bit off. James? What am I missing? Who's James? Henry James? Is Henry James considered one of the greatest? I mean, he's considered one of the greatest novelists, but is he considered, like, he has a work that would be considered? Can't think of another James.
Maybe James Joyce?
He's Irish. And also his name's Joyce.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's using
James or Faulkner. He has to be talking about Henry James. That's the only one I could think of.
Yeah, I don't.
Hold on. This point is a counterpoint. Address this point in the intro. What follows is a rundown of some, but definitely not all of them, and in no particular order either. It's not a ranking of the books that are the most worthy. If you can read James Joyce and William Faulkner, then you can read an introduction. Besides being snarky, I still that guy can't be talking about James Joyce unless you're a fucking idiot. Like, James Joyce is Irish.
Well, I mean, Jeremy
says, great response. Sadly, there are too many numpties out there who fail to read, understand. Okay, you guys are a bunch of dickheads. What's with classic lit folks being dickheads?
I mean,
it's like competing levels of snobbery.
What you're reading, like?
Here's a good one. Blood Meridian has no place on this list since most readers put it down in frustration about 50 pages in. I would say the same for Gravity's Rainbow and Infinite Jest.
I mean, I feel like that's. I think we made it farther than that first run, but I don't think we made it much farther than 50 pages.
I think it was 100 we went, actually. It was like right in 100. And this person just says Huckleberry Finn. So Huckleberry Finn, I would probably.
I haven't read it yet, but I could see, knowing what it's about. I could definitely see that.
If you had a pick, even though you have a limited reading of what books are considered the Great American Novel, what would you say would probably define it as a book? Like, what choice? I would probably say Huckleberry Finn or To Kill a Mockingbird, because it has to have the racial stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like, that's how fucking America was made,
right?
Basically. So
yeah, it
has to have those components. So I would say Huckleberry Finn over To Kill a Mockingbird. Unless you want to be a little modern centric, then can't go wrong either way. Let me see the Great American Novel. Just see if anything comes up that wasn't discussed. The Great American Bush. That's what I wanted.
Yes,
yeah,
that's what we needed.
I'm gonna be a minute. I'm gonna take this in the bathroom. So here's top contenders, and what they represent. I'll read that too. Why not? Moby Dick by Herman Melville.
See, I always thought that was like European, like author and kind of
Nantucket. Damn it! It's all American. Everything about it's American, other than all the characters that aren't American, which is most of them. They're all very English sounding. Often praised for its sheer scale, epic ambition, and allegorical exploration of American democracy, obsession, and the duality of human nature. It's one of those books, the Scrotum McBoogerballs, where I think everybody just sees all that stuff in it, but it was just Melville talking about whales.
No, I know you were saying earlier, like, Hemingway and stuff, not really probably could be considered, but what about, like, Old Man in the Sea?
That's Cuba.
Is it Cuba?
Well, that might be set in, like, Miami or I'm pretty sure it's Cuba.
Okay.
Or, like, somewhere. Yeah, I think it's Cuba. They're Spanish.
Okay.
Spanish folk. They're not. It's not American. Nothing about it's America, other than the never give up attitude.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, lauded by critics and readers alike, frequently cited on platforms like Reddit for its distinctively American vernacular and its unflinching examination of race and morality in a divided America. That's why I pick it. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, universally recognized as the quintessential look at the American dream, exploring the tension between old money, new ambition, and the illusion of self-made success. That's why I like that book. The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. This would be like my fucking exact list, actually, by the way. Yeah. Gritty, socially conscious epic that perfectly captures the struggles of the working class, the Dust Bowl, and the American drive for survival. Even though it's more fresh in my mind than the Kill a Mockingbird, I would say that I put this above Kill a Mockingbird.
I could definitely see that. Yeah.
Yeah, because this is like everybody's fucked.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like one race or one, sex or like everybody, basically just poor and rich. Mm-hmm. That correlates more to my life and my what I've experienced of just being a poor piece of shit.
What about To Kill Mocking or To Have Mice and Men?
I think just because that's like not. I think people consider that a novella. Because it's like 100 pages.
Because it's so short.
Yeah, I never see that on a novel list. Other notable classics: The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner, Beloved by Toni Morrison, Underworld by Don DeLillo. Maybe there is something to Underworld. Should I read the synopsis? We'll end it on that.
I mean, if they have it, I mean.
Well, I'm on Google now.
Well,
I'm not on that fucking shit list.
Yeah, I've heard of the name of the book, but I never really heard what it was about.
1997 epic novel by Don DeLillo that spans the second half of the 20th century, weaving together the lives of numerous characters against the backdrop of American history, from the Cold War to the dawn of the internet. Okay, so that, that makes sense. Yeah. It's like half of American history. Right. Okay. Yeah, all right. Maybe there's something there. My pick, Huckleberry Finn, Grapes of Wrath, close second.
Yeah.
Kill a Mockingbird third.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Moby Dick, S tier. It's above all of them. It's way better.
Yeah.
You know why?
Semen.
Harpooning and semen. Anyway, folks, that's a read. Next week, we'll talk about, maybe we'll do the episode about the Bram Stoker books or something. Mm-hmm. And probably talk about Ham on Rye a bunch, because I imagine we'll both be done by next week.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to read some books. Spencer's going to read some books. He said something about wanting to read Lonesome Dove. I might let him read that first.
Right.
If you want to read along with them, we're starting up a Patreon where you give him $1 for every page he reads.
You know what? That would really help me read that book.
All of a sudden, he's holding the Holy Bible.
Right.
What's the biggest book ever? I don't know.
I'll be reading Jerusalem.
Ooh. Anyway, you can check us out at DPW Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Spencer's OnlyFans. He is in Miyazaki, and he's murdering midgets.
Yeah. Could be Munchkins?
Munchkins?
Murdering Munchkins?
It's a little softer. It's a little more progressive. It's more, remember we used to just call it PC?
Yeah.
And now I don't even know what they call it. You're canceled and other stuff. And it used to be PC, and that used to be a bunch of, like, Republican moms that were canceling everything.
Yeah.
And then it switched to, like, hip, young to middle-aged white ladies. Same actual demographic, completely different value system.
Right.
Isn't that weird? Yeah. So it went from, like, Nancy Reagan to, like, the ones that used to be into grunge music. But now they're the ones that... I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what this world is coming to. When did the Christian Republicans become the ones that are like, we should be able to say all the curse words? What?
We should be able to say the slurs.
That's what it is. We came for their slurs and they didn't like it. You can check me out at CalebJamesK.com. As the airing of this episode, you could probably get Starlight Pulp Review number 8.
Do it.
You can pre-order it now as we're recording this, but I would imagine you could just order it
by the time it comes out.
Because they said July 1st, most likely it'll be available. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know where my story is placed in the book because I haven't got my copy yet, but I know I am number 1 on the back blurb.
Ooh.
My story is the first story mentioned. I hope it's in order and I'm number 1.
Yeah.
I would fucking be so happy. That's it.
They might just because it's a bigger story, too.
I sure hope so.
You can be like, let's get this shit out of the way.
Yeah, they could just skip right on past that one. It's a Western, and I think it's a great American Western.
There you go.
It's got everything. It's got a guy with a gun. It's got another guy with a gun. It's got drinking and whiskey and a Mexican kid. Is there more? Does there need to be? There's more whiskey and Mexican. Just one. One Mexican kid. 'Cause I didn't want to have conversations back and forth in Spanish. Too hard.
Right.
I could have one kid saying words that I looked up on Google Translate whenever I wrote that 10 years ago.
I was gonna say you're like fluent now.
I'm fluent enough that when I went through, I went, no, that's not right.
This is garbage.
What the fuck was I writing like that for? Very grammatically correct Spanish. Anyway, folks, we thank you for listening. We'll check you out next week with a same kind of episode. Not better, not worse. Same.
Yep.
Consistently mid.
Plateauing.
Yeah.